Have you ever wondered where history's most legendary figures are buried? Some graves are as mysterious as the lives they left behind, hidden, unmarked, or lost to time. From a vanished monk to Princess Diana's secret island and Steve Jobs' simple, unmarked resting place, these sites hold secrets few will ever uncover. Let's explore the world's most elusive graves. Michael Jackson. Crowned the king of pop, Michael Jackson dazzled the world with his genius and mystique, leaving an indelible mark on music and culture. His untimely death in 2009 left millions mourning, yet his resting place is as enigmatic as the man himself. Tucked within the opulent Great Mausoleum at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, Jackson's tomb is a masterpiece of seclusion. Think marble sculptures, glowing stained glass, and mosaics that radiate celestial grandeur. It's less a grave and more a sanctuary fit for royalty. But here's the catch. No fans, no curious visitors, no prying eyes. Layers of security guard this fortress of beauty and secrecy, ensuring his final resting place remains untouched by vandals, opportunists, or overzealous admirers. It's an irony almost poetic. A life lived in the spotlight, yet a grave shrouded in silence. For the rest of us, the question lingers. What would it feel like to stand in the stillness of this sacred space? To be in the presence of a legend, surrounded by a serenity so profound, it mirrors the music he left behind. Princess Diana. With her unmatched grace and boundless compassion, Diana, Princess of Wales, captured hearts across the globe. Her tragic passing in 1997 plunged the world into mourning, but her final resting place remains as private as her life was public. Tucked away on a secluded island called the Oval, within the serene Althorpe Estate in Northamptonshire, Diana's grave is surrounded by a tranquil lake and towering trees, shielding it from the gaze of an ever-curious world. The Althorpe Estate, a historic sanctuary of the Spencer family, occasionally opens its grounds to visitors, with proceeds benefiting causes Diana held dear. Yet the island itself remains off-limits, a silent, sacred refuge where only her closest loved ones can grieve in peace. This profound seclusion serves as a barrier against a world that once scrutinized her every move, offering her in death the freedom she was denied in life. We're left to wonder, is this the solace she longed for but never found? A place where her memory rests, untouched and unbroken, far from the noise of a world that couldn't let her go. Marilyn Monroe. Beneath the California sun lies Marilyn Monroe, an icon of allure and vulnerability, resting in Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. Though her crypt sits among Hollywood legends, its fame eclipses the rest, drawing visitors from around the globe. It's a paradox, a quiet resting place transformed into a bustling site of reverence and disruption. Fans flock to Monroe's grave, their devotion a testament to her lasting mystique. Yet, with adoration comes chaos, overwhelming crowds, acts of vandalism, and the creeping shadow of commercialization. In an effort to protect her memory, cemetery officials have taken measures to safeguard her crypt, balancing the public's fascination with the dignity she deserves. Even in death, Marilyn's aura endures, embodying a timeless blend of strength and fragility. But as visitors linger at her grave, one question looms. Are they drawn to the woman she was or the legend she became? Perhaps it's both, a reflection of her unmatched ability to captivate hearts forever. If you want to explore the journey with me, please leave number 1 and watch this video until the end. Interesting things are waiting for you in the video. James Dean, the Hollywood rebel whose brilliance lit up the screen before his untimely death in 1955, rests in the unassuming soil of Park Cemetery in Fairmount, Indiana. His grave, simple and rooted in small-town humility, stands in stark contrast to the seismic legacy he left behind. Yet this modest resting place has become a mecca for fans seeking connection to the icon who defined a generation. But fame never truly rests. Overzealous visitors have left their mark: graffiti, trampled grass, even attempts to chip away pieces of his gravestone. This quiet cemetery has become a battleground, where preservation efforts meet the relentless pull of his enduring legend. Surveillance cameras and meticulous upkeep now guard this sacred site, ensuring that it remains a haven for reflection rather than a casualty of adoration. Does James Dean's grave mourn the life that burned out too soon? Or does it celebrate a spirit that remains forever restless, forever iconic? In the stillness of Park Cemetery, his legacy continues to spark rebellion and reverence alike. Kurt Cobain, the enigmatic poet of the grunge era, defied convention not only in life, but also in death. When he passed in 1994, his family made an extraordinary choice: no grave, no headstone, no fixed monument. Instead, Cobain's ashes were scattered in secret, merging with the very elements that once fueled his haunting, raw music. Yet, the absence of a physical resting place hasn't stopped fans from honoring him. Makeshift shrines sprout in his hometown of Aberdeen, Washington, while his music endures as the truest monument to his profound influence. This lack of a tethered site protects Cobain's legacy from the obsessive devotion that so often burdens icons, allowing his memory to drift freely, unbound by earthly confines. In many ways, Cobain belongs not to the ground, but to the ether, a fitting testament to his ethereal genius. For a man who resisted being caged by expectations, could there be any other way to rest? Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's meteoric rise as one of Hollywood's most gifted actors ended far too soon in 2008, leaving fans and peers in collective grief. Known for his transformative performances, Ledger's depth on screen was matched only by the mystery surrounding his life. In the wake of his tragic passing, his family made a deeply personal choice: to bury him not in the glare of Hollywood, but in the quiet embrace of Karrakatta Cemetery in Perth, Australia. Shielded from the public eye, Ledger's private plot reflects his family's desire to honor him away from the noise and intrusion. Visitors hoping to find his resting place are met instead with silence, a poignant echo of the protective love that continues to guard his memory. It's a choice that mirrors the man himself, layered, elusive, and profoundly moving. In the stillness of Karrakatta Cemetery, Ledger's legacy whispers rather than roars, much like his unforgettable performances. And in that quiet, we're left to wonder, what stories does the silence still hold? Steve Jobs. In the serene grounds of Alta Mesa Memorial Park in Palo Alto, California, lies the unmarked grave of Steve Jobs, the visionary co-founder of Apple Inc. True to the minimalist ideals that defined his life, Jobs' resting place remains without name or stone, a deliberate choice that echoes his philosophy of simplicity and impermanence. Jobs, who passed away in 2011 after a long battle with pancreatic cancer, left behind a legacy that transformed technology and culture. Yet his decision to forego a traditional marker was intentional, ensuring his burial site wouldn't become a spectacle for admirers or the media. Instead, it serves as a private sanctuary, a place for quiet reflection, free from the public gaze that followed him throughout his life. The absence of a marker speaks louder than words about Jobs' focus on intangibles, on innovation, vision, and change. What better tribute to a man who prized substance over form? But it leaves us wondering, where does simplicity end and history begin? In Jobs' case, perhaps they are one and the same. John F. Kennedy Jr. In the endless embrace of the Atlantic Ocean, the ashes of John F. Kennedy Jr. were scattered off the coast of Martha's Vineyard in 1999. As the son of President John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, he carried the charm and hope of America's most iconic family. But his untimely death in a plane crash alongside his wife Carolyn and her sister Lauren brought a devastating end to a story that had captivated the nation. The choice to release his ashes to the sea was deeply symbolic, reflecting his personal connection to the ocean, a love passed down from his father. For the Kennedy family, the gesture was a poignant mix of freedom and privacy, avoiding the creation of a physical grave that might become a grim spectacle. Instead, this maritime farewell allowed his memory to drift beyond the reach of public fascination. As the waves carried his remains to the horizon, the act felt like the ultimate tribute to a life lived in the space between relentless public adoration and the longing for private solace. Was the sea, with its endless expanse, the only resting place that could match the depth of his legacy? Nikola Tesla. In the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade, Serbia, a gleaming gold-plated sphere holds the ashes of one of history's most revolutionary minds. Nikola Tesla, who passed away in 1943, spent his final years in quiet obscurity despite shaping the future with his monumental contributions to science and technology. The sphere, a symbol of Tesla's fascination with geometry and cosmic energy, rests in a private chamber, accessible to only a select few. Visitors to the museum can marvel at Tesla's groundbreaking inventions, from his visionary work with electricity to his forward-thinking designs for wireless communication. Yet the sphere remains a sacred centerpiece, shrouded in reverence and mystery. By safeguarding Tesla's physical remains, the museum ensures that the spotlight stays on his intellectual legacy, a legacy that electrified the world and continues to inspire awe. Tesla's final resting place mirrors the enigma of his life, radiant, brilliant, and just out of reach. But does the seclusion of his ashes heighten the mystique of the man, or leave admirers yearning for a closer connection to the genius who lit up the world? Perhaps it's this very mystery that keeps his legend alive. Andy Warhol. Nestled in the rolling hills of St. John the Baptist Byzantine Catholic Cemetery in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, lies the modest grave of Andy Warhol. The pop art legend, who passed away in 1987, revolutionized art and culture with bold depictions of everyday objects and celebrities. Yet, in stark contrast to his audacious career, Warhol's final resting place is simple, understated, and profoundly unpretentious. Pilgrims from around the globe visit the grave, leaving tributes like Campbell's soup cans, art supplies, and flowers, symbols of his enduring influence on culture. This steady stream of admirers has occasionally led the cemetery to restrict access, balancing the line between public adoration and the sanctity of private remembrance. Warhol's humble headstone reflects the duality of his life, a man who basked in fame yet embraced simplicity in death. Does this quiet resting place underscore the fleeting nature of life or subtly challenge the permanence of artistic legacy? Perhaps like his art, it invites us to see both and leaves the interpretation to us. Howard Phillips Lovecraft. In Swan Point Cemetery, Providence, Rhode Island, the once unmarked grave of H.P. Lovecraft mirrored the eerie and enigmatic tales that defined his legacy. Lovecraft, the father of modern cosmic horror, passed away in 1937, his genius overlooked during his lifetime. Decades later, in 1977, devoted fans erected a headstone, finally giving physical recognition to a writer whose influence has only grown with time. Even with the addition of a marker, access to Lovecraft's burial site is carefully regulated to preserve the cemetery's tranquility. Yet fans from around the world continue to make pilgrimages, leaving trinkets, notes, and offerings inspired by his tales of incomprehensible terror. This quiet homage is a testament to the enduring allure of his dark imagination, but also a reminder of the thin line between reverence and obsession. Lovecraft's resting place captures the essence of his work, haunting, elusive, and steeped in mystery. Can the boundaries around his grave contain the boundless influence of his cosmic vision? Or does his legacy, like his stories, defy the constraints of reality itself? His name, carved in stone, marks only the beginning of the infinite void he left behind. Osama bin Laden. In the dark waters of 2011, Osama bin Laden's chapter ended as swiftly and secretly as the U.S. military operation that brought him down. The mastermind of terror was laid to rest not in soil, but in the vast expanse of the ocean, an unmarked grave that adheres to Islamic customs, calling for burial within a single day. The exact location remains cloaked in mystery, ensuring it could never become a rallying point for extremist ideals. This extraordinary act carried profound symbolism. By denying him a shrine of stone or soil, his influence was stripped of permanence, and his memory was left adrift in the void. The ocean became not just a burial site, but a shield, an impenetrable barrier against the specter of his legacy. And yet, the mystery lingers. Does his burial at sea erase his presence, or does the lack of a marker amplify his shadow? The silence of the waves serves as a stark reminder of his impact, both indelible and unnervingly intangible, leaving the world to grapple with the void he left behind. Adolf Eichmann. In the annals of justice, Adolf Eichmann's story stands as a chilling reminder of human cruelty. Captured by Israeli agents in 1960, the architect of the Holocaust faced trial for his unspeakable crimes. 2 years later, he was executed. But even in death, Eichmann was denied the familiarity of a burial. His body was consumed by fire, and his ashes scattered into the open sea, far beyond Israel's shores. This unprecedented and deliberate act ensured that no grave could ever become a shrine or a monument to hatred. By denying him a physical resting place, the memory of his atrocities was confined to the pages of history, where it serves only as a warning, not a source of inspiration. Eichmann's legacy remains adrift, unmoored from the land, a stark and final rejection of the ideology he represented. It leaves behind a powerful message that some stories, however dark, belong not in stone, but in the enduring lessons of humanity's resolve against evil. Saddam Hussein. Beneath the parched skies of Iraq lies the fractured tale of Saddam Hussein. Executed in 2006 for crimes against humanity, the former dictator was laid to rest in a family mausoleum in his hometown of Al-Auja. For some, the site symbolized lost sovereignty. For others, it served as a haunting reminder of his reign of terror. Yet, like the unstable region it inhabits, his tomb has become a battleground of memory and strife. Over the years, the mausoleum has faced decay and damage, caught in the crossfire of Iraq's ongoing turmoil. Concerns that it might become a rallying point for nostalgia have led to restricted access,